Dr. Laura Dabney here, and we are talking this month about the parent-child relationship and how you can use this to avoid raising a narcissist or a sociopath. I brought back a few weeks ago an old video on this topic and spoke generally about it then. The week after that, I talked about the parenting style that best avoids these type of problems with your children. And last week, I talked about specifics about how to avoid raising a sociopath. So this week, I want to talk about the specifics about how to avoid raising a narcissist. Okay, so let's start with the acting out behavior. So if your child acts out, let him have it. Again, the goal here, as I keep saying in these videos, is not to raise a perfect child. That is not the goal. Your job as a parent is not to make your child perfect. It is about creating a relationship with your child that they can take and use later for their relationships. It's a template. All right. So if your child, I don't know, slams the door, kicks, I don't know, an ottoman or swears or something, try not to get too sticky on this. Don't get too overreactive on this. I'm sure you have done this from time to time. Okay, it's normal for people to express a little bit of hostility when they're angry or upset. If you don't do that, you're giving the child the impression that either you can't handle their anger or that there's something wrong with anger. All right, and that gets us to the definition of a narcissist. A lot of you really don't understand what narcissism means. Here, what it is in the medical field. Narcissism is a way to defend, push down anger. It's their way of dealing with anger that's not healthy and not relational. So it's just the opposite when you let them have a little bit of acting out behavior. Don't punish them for it. You can say something along the lines of, when they calm down, so, hey, what's going on? Ask some questions about it. But to overly stifle them and try to get the impression they can't do that is unrealistic and is going to perhaps give them the wrong impression. They need to always stuff their anger. That's going to cause way more problems, okay? However, if the acting out hurts somebody, but in particular you, if it hurts you, you can't speak on other people. If you think your child's behavior hurts somebody else, you cannot say anything, okay? You are acting like you know what other people are thinking and feeling, and that is breaking all the rules of relationships. Okay. You can only talk about your behavior. So if they've hurt you, it's imperative then that you do tell them. You want them to know this is hurtful behavior, and then ask them some questions about how they can deal with it differently. What's going on? Is there a way you could have let me know that without that behavior? Again, not making demands and not letting it go. Both of those unhelpful and giving mixed messages. But you want to talk it through with them because, again, narcissists aren't dealing with their anger by talking it through with somebody. Okay, narcissists have what they do with their anger because they don't want to talk about their anger, don't want to admit it or can't admit it, feel so conflicted about it. They end up pushing everybody down here. Narcissists have to be at the top of everything. It's not just they have to be the top. When you and I celebrate something or standing up for ourselves, we allow other people to stand up for themselves too. Or we know that other people have value too. But narcissists have to devalue everybody to stay here by themselves. So when you're in the room with a narcissist, when you feel like, oh my God, I'm just like wearing these crappy clothes, all of a sudden you feel like I am just so ineffective. You might be in a room with a narcissist, okay? That's what you start feeling. So it's way more than just having a good self-esteem or being celebratory or standing up for themselves. So it's very imperative that you show them how to deal with negative emotions in a way that's healthy, okay? By you telling them then they will start understanding and also using their empathy, which they also need a healthy dose of, okay? Lastly, allow for celebratory behavior. I have a lot of patients. It's so interesting that when their children they're celebrating something and it gets to be too much. They're like, no, don't be so, other people don't have it as good as you. Or don't think about the losers. Or No, it's not your job. It's not your child's job or your job, by the way, to tell them how they should be acting around other people. Okay. Let them have their win. Just like letting them have their little bit of acting out, letting them have their win is supportive. You're letting them know that they can have a life and feelings that are different from you, and that's okay. Is the family, a close relationship is where you should feel safe. They should feel safe in letting their hair down a little bit. And it might be to brag a lot, you know, and it might be a tiny bit annoying, just like slamming a door or something, but you know, you want to let them be able to have that behavior. It's up to other people. If they are doing this in front of someone and it hurts them, it's up to that person to stand up for themselves. You cannot pretend to know what other people are feeling and then tell your child how to deal with that. It won't work. It'll ruin the trust between you, right? So let them have their celebratory behavior. Let them have their acting out until, if it does hurt you, then tell them. This is how to avoid raising a narcissist. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this series on how to take your parent-child relationship very seriously. Always look at it as a template you want to give them for future relationships. Okay. Take care. Of course, if you need any help with this, we are here, 757-340-8800.